Moonlight washes over the twisted canyons of the Calseth Valley. The white sands shimmer. Blood has been spilled. Pirates, invaders, lay on the ground among men, lizard folk.
I clench my fist, put my hand on the shoulder of my son, standing at about half my height. Man's blood painting my lower jaw. I step forward.
The quivering scale of Tepti's shoulder. He stands strong as he watches his father step forward.
Looking forward, resolute, eyes on the obsidian altar and the shamans around it, waiting on their beckon.
An elder lizard woman with sagging scales on her jaws beckons you with her hand. The obsidian altar, its many cracked spikes and edges, stands behind her. She steps to the side. Smells sulfur from the springs bubbling of water.
I inhale, taking in the sulfur and strong scents, and step forward to approaching the obsidian altar, and I kneel.
The cicadas begin whirring and buzzing around the night air. Another elder comes from your side. What brings you to take the pact, child?
I must take the pact. I've no choice. My wife was taken by men in giant ships. I look back toward Tepti and beckon him to come.
He walks up, standing at your height as you kneel. His scaly hands clench. I would like to also take the blood pact with the unspoken one.
I look to the shaman. He is old enough. He is a man now. And I grab my 2 hand axes that were hanging at my hips and throw them down at the altar.
Gasps from elders on the edge of the ceremony. The son, your Tepti, grabbing his obsidian dagger and placing it honorably. Very well, children of the unspoken. One hands you a dagger, the other Tepti. Then, give your blood.
I take the dagger, hold my forearm above the altar, and slowly, with a serrated blade, make a deep cut.
Tepti following in suit, nodding. The blood dripping down the obsidian altar. Steam as the blood dripping down into the bowl at the bottom of the altar. Another shaman stepping forward in chant, picking up the bowl, dribbling the blood over the weapons. A resonating sound from the altar.
I'm hearing a sizzling and a popping, watching the weapons as as they turn to a black sheen. I I clench my teeth and I say, "For the unspoken one, and for my people, and for my son."
And Tepti chanting in combination with you. Voices from around the room, warriors and elders chanting for the unspoken. The unspoken as whispers slowly die down in chorus. The air thick with vapor and sulfur from the bubbling springs. Child, you must now bring back offerings, heads. We must gain their knowledge, the elder says. We must gain their knowledge, the other elders say in concert.
I pause for a moment and nod silently. I have two javelins on the ground behind me. I've placed them at the altar as well.
The
And
they they bless us. They nod, in ritual, making ritual hand gestures. And what of your pact to avoid the bloodlust? Look at your brothers, gesturing to the rest of the room.
I stand to my feet, turn around, and look at the others in this obsidian-filled cave.
Many other lizard men standing strong as they sit down and as they sit in ritual posture, their eyes gleaming in long slits.
I give a serious look. I hold out my arm, the blood still dripping.
They hold up their arms, obsidian daggers in their other hands.
Brothers, you have seen me swear my oath before the unspoken one.
We have seen you speak before the unspoken one.
It is my pact between my brothers, all of my people.
It is our pact. They smash their hand holding their dagger to their sinewy chests.
I do the same with my forearm, leaving a streak of blood across my chest.
They offer out their hands and reveal their underarms and dig into the scales.
It is my honor to serve my brothers.
The
And with
brothers,
that, I have made my pact.
the pact is made as they hold their arms up, their fists clenched, wrapping around their long fingers with the talons.
My shoulders loosen a bit. I put my hand on Tepti's shoulder. And same for you, Tepti. Rub his head.
Tepti smiles, long teeth jeering back. He quickly corrects his posture himself.
I look to one of the shamans, expecting some cloth for our arms.
Another shaman stepping out from the altar, presenting two cloths hanging over their arms. They hand one to Tepti. He ties it around his head, back behind his long horns. The shaman turns to you, handing you the red cloth.
I tie it the same.
Um, the another of the shamans standing at the entrance of the small grotto. We have heard the words, we have heard the oath spoken. Tonight was an unhonorable and bloody attack. There's others that still need to be buried, and men that need to be burned.
Indeed.
With
I fear
honor.
there's, with honor, those that can bury, let them bury. Those who can fight should fight. And whether, brothers, whether you take the oath with me or not is up to you. But any of you who be a man should fight with me.
Several lizardmen younger than Tepti pat him on the shoulders. They begin walking out. A couple older lizard men missing a forearm, some missing an eye, walking out to help bury bodies. A few others stand up, walk towards you. Tulok, a brave warrior. It's about time you joined the ranks. He offers a extended clawed hand out.
I reach his hand with my own.
Grasping on forearm of yours. His thick brown scales hardened. I've seen what you could do with those axes before, but I look forward to seeing the glory in battle.
As do I. And I will not use them without care.
He nods. A couple others standing behind him. Quiet. Blood on their bodies. Fresh.
I looked at Tepti. Tepti, we'll wait here for a while if any others go through with the ritual as well. And if not, well, we'll head out as soon as they're ready.
Okay,
and
Father.
walk over between two obsidian shards sticking out of the walls and sit down between them.
Tepti wanders outside. His friend's in the distance. He's following up to them. The other Tulok and Ika go to sit before you. I want to apologize. I know she meant a lot to you, Ika says, looking at you.
She still does, but now is not the time. After our work is done, we will remember her.
What word have you? Any recent scouting you've done? We're still waiting on others to return.
I've seen them. Their men are numerous. They kill, they pillage, they take what they want, but they are smaller than us.
They are, but
They're just men. I have not seen any of them use magic. At least I don't think so.
neither of us, any of us, but I've heard whispers of recent ones with profane appendages and
Profane appendages.
sometimes the madness takes in after the oath, but one I know a party. Fenn had reported in a previous mission that he had swore and he'd seen one with an arm of a crab, a pincer, a man as large as you or I.
So they have their own gods then.
Indeed.
Well, never mind. The unspoken one's power has never been rivaled in our people's history. I stand to my feet.
They pound their hands once again to their chest. Your faith is strong. They stand up and say, when you're ready, let us know. We'd be honored to crawl into battle with you.
I look up at the moonlight. Let's waste no time. And I start to walk out of the cave into the Calceth Valley.
The two company lizardmen, one large, scales brown, grabs his club at the entrance of the small grotto. The other one, thin, grabs his long spear, walking behind you. Tepti outside, carrying a body of another fallen lizardman, setting it at a base of a small cart.
Tepti, thank you. But that work is for others now. Come with me. And I'm walking down the carved rocky steps outside of the cave, down into the valley.
Tepti sets the body down, follows in tow along the sandstone ground beneath him, the moonlight shimmering off the limestone walls of the canyons.
Keep going till I get to the bottom of the canyon.
The base of the canyon opening up before the directions of the large canyon heading toward the waters. The other two, the three lizardmen accompanying you. Tulok says, I take it there's one way we go, huh? Looking towards the direction of the bay.
That's where they came from, at least. They've been spreading, but it's where we start. I'm gripping my new weapons at my sides, my javelins in a sling on my back.
The Tepti holding his bow, flexing the strings and gripping his dagger. Father.
Yes, my son.
I would like to wield one in melee combat. I've earned it.
I gesture toward his obsidian dagger.
I feel its call, Father. He holds it out, testing its edge in the moonlight.
It will serve you well. As I'm walking along by the river, going through the valley, reflecting the moonlight. But Tepti, stay by my side. Do not rush into danger.
Tepti's walking carefully behind the other two lizard men are scouting. Cacti and palm trees dot the distance and the sides of the canyon walls.
Feel the dry wind blowing over my face and my horns.
The canyon bending down the way, river flowing with it.
Walking along the river, stop and kneel down to cup my hands to get some water, drink, and I say to Tepti, that dagger is your last resort. I touch his bow. Stick to this if you can.
His eyes glare briefly, nods. Yes, father. He bends down to get some water.
I, uh,
The
I take my finger off of the obsidian tipped arrow and I continue drinking from the river.
the around the bending of the canyon in a howling sound of a chorus of howls erupts, echoes off the walls.
My head immediately points up. I look around. I'm smelling.
The
It's 18.
the the familiar sound of a giant crab, a whistling howl, unknown to be in the night.
It's crab, but it's too late for those. I stand to my feet and pull a javelin off of my back.
Tulok grips his large mace with the obsidian tipped. I'd rather stand clear of that, but if we draw first blood on it, I'll crack it wide open for you.
I can depend on you, Tulak, and you, Ika, and you, Tepti. Let's keep going. Keep your eyes open.
The corner of the canyon opening up, revealing several shelves of small waterfalls flowing into pools, going down deeper into the valley.
Keep my pace brisk in the night.
Over the sounds of the waterfalls, men shouting.
I come to a stop. The ornaments on my necklace just slightly jingling as I come to a sudden stop. I put my hand up.
Suddenly stopping to your hand, Tepti, looking down the valley. What is it?
I hear something. Men.
The
I'm squinting.
howling once again of the crab. The Tulok and Ika trying to look down over the curve of the waterfalls. Is that men? One Ika smelling the air, silent with their long tongue licking their teeth.
I'm looking over, sniffing the air as well. So 9.
The sound of directly below the curve of the waterfalls, mixed smells with the night air.
We'll have to go through to get to the bay. We may very well run into them.
Yes, Ika says. First words of the night. I'll put many holes in them. Long spear ready.
I look
Gila, would you like to see how it's done? His eyes widening.
my expression still blank. Yes, Ika, that's good.
Tulak says, "Okay, blood brother Ika, keep us in mind." He's stepping forward on Ika 10 feet ahead. Come with me.
I'm following behind Tulak.
Tulak and the others following with you, or Tulak leading right behind Ika, Tepti behind you, approaching a down the path along this waterfall, steep, approaching a larger rock, pointing down. Ika's pointing down there.
Each step intentional over the wet rock steps, looking at the direction indicated by Ika. What do you see?
Drops of the waterfall and vapor mist, revealing a blurry melee. Several men, a shadow of a large crab crustacean arm, holding something and crushing it deep in his claw.
I'm whispering 1, 2 as I count them.
Tepti looking aside with you. All right. We must easily double our numbers. But that beast.
It's all right, Tepti. That's what the unspoken one is for. He has blessed us. I am weighing my javelin in my hand. Let's get a bit closer. And I go down some more of the steps.
The melee becoming louder, penetrating the sounds of the waterfalls. 9 to 10 men in battle with this large crustacean. Several men lay bleeding in the floor of the waterfall. It's shallow, slippery.
I'm waiting until I'm close enough for a javelin's throw, and I stop.
The others just behind you, arms ready, Tepti bow drawn. I can get a shot on them, Father.
Not yet, Tepti.
The
Wait until they're weak.
one of the men getting purchased with their mace against the leg of the crustacean as it stomps with a pointy foot on another. Screams of a man. The
I'm watching motionless except for my eyes darting from man to man as I take in the combat.
Come on, Ika says as he's shifting back and forth. I'm gonna go. Tulak, come with me, blood brother. The men and crustacean only near distance. Let's go, Kilar. They're charging.
I give a knowing look to Kilar. Ika, it would be foolish. When their numbers are whittled, we go in. We're hidden. Let's not waste that.
One of the men just gained purchased, ripping out his mace as he dings off of its carapace. Several others, one trying to throw a net around the crustacean's claw, it grabbing around it and tangling up its claw with one of the men inside still. The creature fiercely shifting around as 6 or 7 other men are dancing around its legs. Kilar, or um, Tulok and Ika making themselves approaching near, only close distance from the pirates.
I grit my teeth, take one step at a time, catching up with Tulak and Ika.
Tepti wielding a bow, arrow drawn, lets loose an arrow at a man. The shot ringing off the slick walls of the waterfall below. Tepti jumping into the air and coming down with the mace on another pirate and ripping it out as he swings against the face of another.
I'm caught off guard, and I quickly assess, reach back, and let loose my javelin at one of the men.
One of the men looking back as their friend just got crushed.
That's 21.
The success.
Okay. I watch as it gains purchase through two men in a single throw, impaling straight through them.
The two of the other pirates stepping back as the crustaceans whirling around, howling, witnessing their two allies become skewered, cutlasses in hand. They back away towards the edge of the waterfall. The crab flailing, attempting to stomp on the nearest being around them. Tulok near. Its pointy leg crushing down into Tulok's shoulder. Pinning him down to the ground as he screams.
I pull out my second javelin out, tight grip around it, looking toward the crab assailing Tulok, and let it fly.
AC 12.
Okay. That's 7.
The its appendage ripping off its unnetted claw, devastating the lesser claw, flailing around with sinewy strands of visceral mass hanging out. The Ika, Tulak, and he eyes the creature, jabbing into the opened wound, stuffing his spear into it. The spear penetrating out the carapace. Creature dancing, wobbling.
I grab my axes from off my hips. Tipti, stay back. I descend down the steps as quickly as I can.
Father, they're running. Tepti says. They attempt to fire an arrow at the men who are walking away along the edge of the, or scuttering away on the edge of the waterfall. One landing into its leg as the man screams.
I'm. I get to the bottom of the steps, and I I get I run up to this monstrosity, this crab, and as bravely as I can, I'm wielding both of them, chopping at its carapace. Uh, for 3.
The creature wobbling as um, as it begins just falling down, and its legs giving out, screams as it falls to the floor.
I feel a dark surge. I exhale almost steam after this kill.
Good, Kilar, Ika says. I smell it on you. Tulok, screaming. The blood flowing down his scales as he's on the ground, washing away. Water blue in the night, in the moonlight.
I'm assessing the situation. I quickly watch the men running away and then look at Tulak and rush towards him.
I'll be fine, brother. I just need a minute. Sit me up. And he's trying to sit up against the carapace, struggling. Ika pulling spear out.
Ika, Tepti, do you have something?
Tepti running. Tulok! Oh, he's pulling off his red garb off his head. Tulok, with his good hand. You keep that on! As he's holding, his eyes going up and down slowly.
I put my hand near his wound. I'm looking at Tulak. Tulak, you need healing.
Ika, smelling.
I'm looking around helplessly.
I smell the stink on you, Tulok. Holding his spear as he's released from the crab. Tulok, holding above, aiming at Tulok's head. What do you think, Tulok? Do you stand a fight? Tulok, Tulok stutters to find words. As our pact is, then, Ika says, jabbing a spear into Tulok's skull as Tulok looks onward.
I'm frozen, staring at the spear through his skull. I look up to Ika.
Ika standing on top of the carapace, looking down, spear lodged in Tulok's head. Tepti cries. Ika looks at you, eyes red. You feel it, do you not, brother?
I feel the Dark One's blessing. I stand to my feet.
I fear Tulok did not ever have it in him. He unlodges the spear. Tepti.
That's what you have to say about Tulak.
We could have saved him. He could fight. And one time we knew each other quite well. Our pact was honored tonight. Don't shed any tears. You'll rest with the unspoken. Grabbing the spear. I believe they got away. I lost their stench.
I rip my javelin out of the giant crab, as well as the two men I skewered, inspecting them to see if they're intact.
Their bodies ripped open from the wound, but tattered clothes and pouch on them.
I kick them aside. I'm looking at the shafts of my spears, making sure they're still in good condition.
Strong, fresh, not impacted by the hard shell of the beast.
You're right, Ika. And I put one javelin back in my sling and keep another in my hand. They can't be far. Tepti, come on. And I get a move on.
That's the spirit, Ika says as Ika grabs Tulak's mace, holding it on his shoulder. I will bring him into battle with us, charging behind. Tepti running just in the middle of you. The smell of the night's air becoming fresh with salt, wind, sand. The canyon opening.
Going through, feeling the sand beneath my feet in a slow sprint, almost leaving Tepti a bit behind. And I smell the air.
The sound of Ika shuffling through the sand behind you. The smell of and odors of men. Their foul campfires and latrines present.
There's a group of palm trees that I stop behind. I'm looking. Tepti, stop here. I judge the distance out.
The canyon giving way to a larger a beach that within the cove. Small fires dot the far distance. Some small canyon walls following the cove with clear clear entranceways or fires, and I seem to have gotten a foothold here, Ika says.
Matters not. They don't know we're coming, looks like. Tepti and I can attack from here. I think you'll have to get a bit closer, Ika, with that spear.
Right, I can do the close work there. And he stashes his spear in the sand. I take Tulak with me, though. The large mace in his hands.
I look at the spear. Are you going to throw that? Are you going to rush in?
I do not throw that spear often. I might use it to dig into them, cook them, skewer together. The hefty spear.
If I cannot convince you, I give him a pummeling on his arm. If I cannot convince you, then we'll have to join you. I gesture to Tepti. Come on, we'll get closer.
Yes, that's where you feel the unspoken one's blessing the most. Walking, walking ahead, arrogantly stepping through the night. Walking along. He begins walking along the beach to the open. The sound of a whistling wind comes from the other side of the cove along the where the rim of the canyon was, landing through the palm trees. Father, I worry about Ika. Tepti says, stepping beside you.
I whisper, I'm keeping my tail up not to leave a trail in the sand. Tepti, I'm whispering to Tepti, we'll keep an eye on Ika. He is a good warrior, but keep your wits about you.
Well, as you taught me, Father. Its tail up, eyes, pupils dilated in the night sky as the moon sets further. The darkness is on our side here, and the men are not capable. There's others that escaped. One has surely bled out by now. Not smelt anything.
I sniff the air as I'm getting closer. 14.
Up above, where the wind whistled through, a strong smell or odor of fresh blood.
I look up above. Someone was fighting before.
The rim of the canyon, just a small, short distance, easily climbable above. The sound of beach grass brushing together. Father.
Yes, Tepti.
Looking at Ika as they continue down the path farther. Up there, he points.
We'll have to climb it. Tepti, if you'll only get one shot, if you have time for that at all, before Ika rushes in. Make it count.
My draw is quick, Father. He begins fleeting up the couple available rocks in the along the canyon wall there. His foot scratching loudly against a chunk of limestone, gets knocked out. Makes it up. The sound of rustling faster. Tepti not visible.
I'm climbing up behind Tepti.
The Tepti's dagger out is a desperate man, blood on him, with a scimitar. Is facing off. I have it, Father.
I pull myself over the top, and I'm looking to see how close this scimitar wielding man is.
The man with the scimitar and filthy beard is near to Tepti. Several, just a short rush away, slowly gauging him with his movements. Stand back, father. His tail rhythmically moving.
I'm crouched, have my javelin at my shoulder. Let, let it go when you're ready, boy.
Nonsense, father. He drops his bow, the dagger out, dashing towards the man as the man continues eyeing him. Man screaming, attempting to hold his sword up, leaping into the sky. Tepti plunges onto him with his claws gripping and dagger into his forehead.
Tepti!
Tepti, looking at his dagger in the setting moon as the blood dripping down, looking back at you with a long, open grin going back on his face.
I drop my javelin, pull my hand axe out, and just sprint toward him. Tepti! I put a hand on him and look around for more men.
Along the rim's edge, a group of 6 other pirates are in march, speeding up as they're looking clearly in the night. One with a torch. Father, it's true. A pact with the unspoken one, I feel it. Looks back at you with the red vesseled eyes.
Tepti. He has blessed you as well. I can feel it. And I'm clawing at my chest, smearing some of the dried blood. Without thinking, I'm stepping towards these men closer.
Tepti, whipping out the blood from the blood off his obsidian dagger. Yes, let's go together, father. Leaving the bow behind. I'll take those 3. You take those 3.
And I, without a word, start sprinting.
The men holding a torch up as a large entity is visible, its scales becoming present. 2 of them draw their scimitars out.
I have both axes in my hand, crunching grass.
One, 2 of the scimitars out. The one holding the torch whips out his small crossbow loaded. Fires a shot. The bolt whistling past. Tepti rushing.
I pay it no heed as I jump into melee and swing at the crossbowman. 12. Aiming straight for his chest with a strike for 5.
The dead.
It cuts through him, through his chest, and it cleaves through 2 men next to him. A single strike, and I tear them down after they're already
the other
decimated.
3 just behind them, the men screaming and screaming loudly, charging Tepti as he's ahead of you. Jabbing one of them scimitars, coming into melee, and gashing open some of Tepti's scaled arm. Tepti shouts in bloodlust as they drop their dagger, clawing at the men, flailing.
Tepti! And I rush toward the man who assaulted him.
the torch on the ground flickering as it continues to burn. The men clearly focused on Tepti. Another swings at him as he's flailing and finds purchase between his clawed hand. It severs in deep into his wrist. Tepti's screaming.
No! I chop at this man, paying no attention to the other ones. My axe finds purchase in his skull, splitting all the way down the middle, and I keep making hacks into this man.
The man turning into a bloody melon. Tepti's hand releasing as he claws back with his other arm, skewering straight into the last remaining man. And screaming as he does. The man dropping.
I look at him, looking at his wounds.
He's bleeding viciously. Roll intellect. His bleeding viciously, but his eyes wide open in alertness. I'll be okay, Father. Pulling off his band. This is what a pack will guide me. His arm bleeding through the red cloth even.
I'd shout at him, "Don't you take that off!" And I look around, Ika, where are you?
The shouts of a camps of men in the far distance. Screams, blunting sounds, the flickering of the torch. Tepti sitting down. Their eyes just wide open but red.
Ika, you'll be fine. We need to find Tepti. You'll be fine. We need to find Ika. And I go back towards the cliff's edge, start to look for purchase for my feet.
Be right there. The whispers. The rocks jutting out against the limestone canyon wall, short distance away.
I take one last look at him. I'm going down, my eyes over the edge of the cliff, taking a look at him. 4.
His the torch flickering, a still hand bloody but peaceful over his heart. Almost a fist.
I pause for just a moment. Tepti, get up. Come on.
The silence. Wind blows. Torch is out.
I don't move. I'm holding myself in a mid-climb, staring. I take in all the smells of the night, hit me strongly at once. The sand, the salts, the blood, the iron.
thick, the night's airs, the smells thick too, and as the clouds form in the among the stars in the distance, cracks of lightning, men yelling over beats of silence.
The men yelling and the clanging of metal just is muted. And I climb back over the edge of the cliff and walk towards Tepti slowly, kneel down and put my hand on his.
The hand responds briefly, as if in reflex.
Tepti. Without thinking, I take the cloth off my head and try to wrap it around his injury.
The the cloth finding tightness and the wrist closing up. Movement. Breathing as the scales up and down.
Tepti. I'm silently praying to the unspoken one as I rest my head against his chest, against Tepti's chest.
A faint whisper from Tepti's teeth. The dagger. My dagger. A head turns over towards the direction of my dagger. On the ground, Father.
I look at it. Look back at him. The fight's over, Tepti.
Bring me with you, Father. Take me in the dagger. I feel the unspoken one will carry me in obsidian.
No, Tepti, I fear the unspoken one has taken control of us too much. This is enough for one night, Tepti. You've done well. I grab the dagger and toss it back, landing in a shrub.
He screams, Father, what have you done? That's it. Flailing on the ground. Attempts to sit up, but back down again. Skittering back, clawing into the ground on their back as they push themselves towards the dagger.
I'm holding him back against the rock. My son, you cannot fight if you are dead. And steam comes out from my clenched jaw.
His eyes narrow and focused, finding yours. His eyes water up, filmy, and foggy. Says, "Hey, Mother, she's gone. The unspoken one is offered to us. She's gone. I just want to find the revenge."
I pound the rock behind to the side of his head. That's why you must survive, Tepti.
He's holding his wound now. Father, I don't know how much I can hold on still. I will be here, but the call. Even now, I feel him. He offers me honor and peace to Mother. But I cannot push on yet.
Tepti, I was wrong. Your role was to fight. You are a man. You are a warrior. But you can only fight for so long. I will carry out the honor for your mother.
Father, I'm sorry, says his eyes recognizable.
I scowl. Don't be sorry. You fulfilled your role. And I stand up and look out over the cliff's edge, listening to the clang of battle, now more clear than ever.
A fire, a larger fire, emanates from a cloth tent of the men. A light goes out in a small sandstone structure.
Stay here. And I find a winding path leading down the cliff.
Honor be with you, Father. And don't be lost like Iga.
I barely hear the words. I'm going down the winding path, almost a sprint down this path.
Wind at your back. Ahead, cacti and sagebrush, revealing a small gate, wooden gate. Narrow sandstone structures just ahead of it.
I stop for just a moment to take it in, but just a moment. And I'm jogging up to the gate. Axes in my hands.
Clashing sounds of men roaring and the hissing roars of other lizard men.
I rip my the strap off of my chest, and my javelins fall to the ground. And I push through the gate and rush into battle.
The large or the dancing lights of fire from tent being raised as shadows of clashing lizardmen and dozens of pirates are battling. A group of 6 rushing just ahead, not even looking left or right towards the melee ahead of you, out of a small alley between two sandstone dwellings, wielding cutlasses, some with shields.
I rush out of the darkness into the fray of the battle, shoulder checking one as I get into the midst of them, and swing.
The man off position.
Hacking into all 6 of them in mere seconds. A head goes flying off. A clean cut. All 6 dead.
Screaming's cut short as several others are yelling, "Look sharp! Another!" As several arrows go flying past you. 2 men with pikes rushing down some stairs on either side of a larger sandstone dwelling. Of fire becoming present, illuminating a wide, almost plaza-like area.
I rush toward the men with a pike, and I try to cut down the pike. My rage consuming me.
The
It just coming down and splitting one of the rock steps clean in two.
the one of the men falling off their plate armor, shimmering in the light. The other picking up and attempting to thrust towards you. Whoops. Uh, Missing their balance as they fall off the chipped stairwell beside their and landing on their and tripping over their other ally. The two archers on top of the sandstone dwelling, about 10 feet up, fire at you. Two arrows. Find purchase. One hitting your tail.
I barely register the pain, barely watch the pikeman fall off the step, and I jump off the steps, rushing towards the two bowmen. And
Hit.
yeah, smashing their bows before I gut both of them, their entrails spilling out.
Below, the clashing is clashing below, men screaming and high-pitched hissing as a couple men yell, "That's one steward!" A cracking sound, a skull flies into a sandstone building, the man's head falling off.
I almost make a grin like a human would, and I survey the scene for more men
The
to
two
kill.
men with a pike, larger than the others, are standing up. Several another 24 smaller men rushing out from past the plaza towards the other end of the cove, streaming in. Three other lizardmen, one dead on the ground, another one, Ika, bashing, flailing with his large mace.
I'm rushing past the lizardmen, bumping through Ika on my way to these pikemen.
You joined us, brother. As he's following, attempting to go to the other one.
I'm only growling and hissing as I feel the wind as I'm sprinting full force towards these men.
When the men, his pike out defensively.
I take both axes and swing at the pike, trying to pin it down.
15.
Yeah. Knocking it down and turning around so that I can approach closer.
The man's pike, he's digging the ground, gaining his footing, unable to grasp it. The other pikemen rushing to Ika. The flailing, trying to keep him at a distance as Ika's looking for ground inward recklessly. Ika stomps at the ground, missing him.
I'm in intimately close now to the pikemen. 23. And yeah, I make a just cut straight through the neck, and then jump up towards the second pikeman and cleave his skull in twain.
The Ika pounding his chest as he grabs down to the blood from the man's skull and drips blood over his long face, down his scales, over his soft underbelly.
I'm leaning forward, and I have my axes out in front of me, and I growl and hiss at Ika and charge him.
Ika, 12.
Okay. That's for 4. And I just swing after swing after swing, knocking him down to his feet.
Ika, laughing, the blood from his hands slippery as he's attempting to grab your hands. I smell the craving on you, I know. And attempting to, scratching at you. Just a talon ripping diagonally through your, along your jowls.
I don't even register the pain. I've got him pinned on the ground now. And it's 20, yeah, that's for 12.
Lethal.
Chopping straight in the, I'm able to get straight in the face, killing him with the first blow, but I keep going.
The smoke, boiling blood dripping from his nostrils. Sulfur, his eyes black.
I'm inhaling it in as I'm chopping, the smoke, the sulfur smell. My eyes roll back and I'm choking on it and coughing. my eyes watering. Eventually I stop chopping.
The roll wisdom. 15. The deep guttural voice. Your oath is your own, then, I see.
I can only hiss now, but in my mind, I just repeat back, my oath, my oath.
Hold your oath. Do you remember? The limp body below you. Fire. Men yelling.
I'm staring at what used to be Ika, just this red smear. It's red. And in my mind, I cannot remember my oath. I cannot.
The last whispers of, very well, then I'll leave you till you find it. If you don't, you will walk with me.
I find the ability to speak again. Unspoken one, don't leave me.
The smell and of sulfur and thick burning blood giving way. The smoke men, dozens of them in the center here, the fire burning bright as ever.
I, I stand to my feet. Don't believe me. And I charge in immediately into the midst of them.
Dozens of men circling around the plaza, several of them charging into you from around the ranks. More becoming brave as they're rushing. 3 groups of them charging to you. One of the groups unable to get past. 2 other groups, 6 of them surrounding you as they are cutting, gashing at you. 6 damage.
There are gashes all over me now, but I don't react. Instead, trying to get as many in with each swing, with each swipe as I can. Cutting down 5 in a single strike. You cannot kill me!
The last group brave enough to keep charging in, struggling to find their way past the bodies before them. They trip, several of them. One of them nearly bashing to your tail, but not breaking through the scale. Behind them, deeper voice. Anyone who doesn't land a blow on him tonight will face my wrath.
My attention towards that man.
Stepping out, the bonfire in the center, revealing a man twice the size of any of them, stitched to his skin, scales, stemming from his right arm, a large crustacean claw.
Filth! And I charge. 13.
13 or higher.
Aiming for the abomination that is his claw, chopping. 4.
The claw, feeling reacting. There's a dent in it. Scrapes. The stepping back from it, he attempts to bash you. The claw as a club. Recklessly swinging back towards your tail.
There's a jolt of energy coming up from my tail to my brain. My vision blurs for a second. Filth! I start doing reckless, like untrained chops towards his chest. For 13, digging in, crushing through any armor.
His eyes widening back as he's bashed back, hit after hit, staring back at you. His bald head shining in the firelight, blood spewing from his mouth. The men, sounds of men shouting.
I take advantage of the fact he's so stunned and just keep wailing.
His final attempt to jeer up to grab your neck with his pincers, unable to connect as he's just out of reach.
My my uh my swings just keep digging into his chest for 5.
The men behind, shouting, some shouting, just run. A couple cackling. The man on the ground, going down, attempting to kick up at you, to push you away, failing as he misses.
I sidestep it briefly, bare my fangs.
Trying to block with his claw. Success.
I cut down that claw with one axe and strike at the side with the other for 4.
Severing nearly off. A man screaming as he becomes limp. The men, several of them, just continue to laugh and shouting. The abomination. I thought Cella's abomination would even get him. We have to run. Flee while you can, you rats.
My focus only on this abomination. I rush around him and start chopping at his back.
He dazed. His wound, his severed claw turning into a flailing tentacle as he's continuing to bleed, coughing blood. The small fresh tentacle erupting from the severed claw piece, the wounds bleeding him though, as he's struggling to get to his knees and his arms on the ground.
Stay down. And I try to get that tentacle, but it's squirming, making chops in the sand.
The arm growing as he's struggling, getting back up to his feet. The posture still weak, flailing out, whipping. Attempting to whip at you and gain distance. Two.
Strikes my face and it leaves a huge red gash on me. I try to regain the close range.
The man, the movement's swift as he stands back and posture up. The tentacle growing longer, the size of a the size of a small whip or spear in distance. Flailing it in motion. Well, come on. Try to get in here.
My left leg, the calf, it shakes for a moment and I almost fall. And then I rush in and try to outmaneuver this whip-like arm.
The constant swift movements, uh, causing havoc, swiping, going up in motion and swiping down like a hammer. um, hitting, coming down vertically. For 3, not 4.
Okay. Got closer, and I'm struck in the head, and I immediately go down, dropping my axes. My eyes rolling back. I can't move.
Man, attempting to oh, that's good. Now any of you run will be melded along with this one. No faith. Wrapping the tentacle around you.
I'm weakly just scratching at the tentacle ineffectively. I try to think back on my loved ones. Well, there's nothing. And I whisper, unspoken one, don't leave me.
DC 12. The smell of rich blood, deep sulfur, coming through like incense. You found your oath yet?
My oath to my brothers, to my people,
Slimy.
to the unspoken one.
The slimy tentacle dragging along the sand. The voice. Your son, your wife. Show them you mean it. A vigor recovering to your body. 3.
My eyes rolled back for just a second, and they open again.
The night sky, stars now, the wet flesh of a tentacle dragging or gripping around you as you, just dragging you.
The sand is scratching me as I'm being drugged, and I come to my senses, and I bite the tentacle.
The
So 24 for 6.
the thing
Blood gushing everywhere.
and the launching back, releasing you. A hissing scream from the man attached to it, falling on the ground as the thing's flailing around. Back for more.
The unspoken one has sent me back from death, and I'm chewing on a piece of the tentacle, and I swallow it.
The richness of its sweet blood filling you. DC 10. Wisdom.
Yep.
The cause strong, the oath is found. The lust, just bloodlust.
I
The
shake my head and collect myself.
the man getting up.
I'm not done with you. I rush in and try to bite that tentacle again.
Blood or the tentacle growing from the man's arm, unwieldy to him. Hit.
For one, taking chunk by chunk.
Ripping the flesh around it that is tense with blood searing off. The man screaming as he rushes closer, attempting to punch with his free hand. Nothing against the leathery skin of a.
I don't even register the my scales blocking any kind of blunt force, and I just keep gnawing, savoring the flavor. For 3.
The man the tentacle ripping off as its blood is rushing out of the man's open body and shoulder. He's falling to the ground as some shouts from the periphery or in the darkness along the beach. Faint fire far behind. The man you will be melted. I will be grafted back. Take me, it doesn't matter. He's shouting over yellow teeth.
No answer. I just keep devouring the slippery tentacle. Rather than attacking him, I'm just eating a piece that's already ripped off.
The man just flailing his body, kicking, stomping in its weighty mass as another pus-filled abrasion on his stomach is filling, something pushing through.
I have abandoned the tentacle and rush toward him and grab up a heavy rock and point the point at him. 24 for 5, jamming it down and bringing him to his knees.
The the pus-filled skin erupting with like a scorpion type appendage from it going limp as he falls on his knees, looking up, coughing, lifeless.
I'm looking at the scorpion, like the scorpion tail, wrinkling my nose, and I go towards it and grab the stinger and try to rip it off,
pulling
and just
the
ripping and tearing.
the appendage success. The appendage extends, attached, rooted to the man's body, innards, intestines. Sounds of metal clanking. light from torches emanating from behind.
I'm holding the stinger, looking at this giant man, looking at his face.
Symbols, carvings of eyes shut. Behind men speaking strange tongues and others shouting familiar words.
I grab his head, and throw him down into the sand, and turn around towards the men.
A dozen or so men in tattered clothing, smaller weapons sheathed, torches up as they're looking, scared, eyes open.
I'm squinting and sniffing, see if I recognize them.
Some seen in the melee back at the fire pit. Unfamiliar though, foreign as any other.
I take one step and then another slowly and start to pick up speed.
Then stepping back, several making way, some breaking a run in the distance towards where you were being dragged.
Trying to catch up, my energy never failing, and my strength carrying me.
A group of 3 or 4, less expeditious. Looking back, one in white linens with blue and yellow stripes shirt.
I leap, make a long jump at the end of my sprint, and just land in the midst of them. And yeah,
The
grab two, like land on 2 men and slam their heads together, killing them.
the remaining one screaming as they're picking up with the last of their speed, running towards the edge of the water, the sand, denser. Ah, ah, ah. Grabbing out their scimitar as they're running.
I get back up to my feet and eye the man with the scimitar and catch up to him. And I'm just swiping recklessly with my claws.
The man crying out, "No! Stop! No!" As they're unable to even wield their scimitar. Boat in the night distance on the bay, visible. Sounds of wind, men shouting towards where the man was dragging you.
I pick up that scimitar and look toward my next target, running tirelessly.
Down the beach, where you're being dragged, several men running into an entrance to a large side of the a mountain in the edge of the bay. Unfamiliar to the large foothold becoming clear. Several running into it. A large door in this cavernous wall.
Without hesitation, I go through that cavern.
The cavern torches illuminating finely chiseled wall, an entranceway, a narrow hall with torches.
As the light is dim in here, I slow down, just trying to see. At a brisk jog, I'm going deeper in. My left hand grasps, but there's no obsidian weapon there.
Blood trailing on the ground. The cavern opening up to the natural formation. Dark, dark and cavernous. Torches giving way to a wide area.
I slow to a walk. I'm stepping into the middle of this flat ground, looking around the cavern.
The wind howling through unknown parts of the cavern. Sounds echoing, chanting, deep chanting ahead.
Continue to walk forward.
Pillars apparent, carved near the edge of the sandstone sides of this cavern. Floor tiled exquisite.
My my new saber scraping along the pillars as I pass by them, scowling more than a lizard man should be able to.
Some hooded figures nervously rushing behind pillars way. Blood appearing on the ground, chanting louder down the hall. Torches, many lighting up another circular room.
For the pact, for the unspoken one. And I charge into the middle of this room.
A man sits on a throne. The man is twice the size of any of the largest known lizard folk. He's sitting on a throne holding a jar and clad in dark scaled armor. In the middle of the room, a large pile of flesh, bodies of men, lizardmen, unknown species.
Trampling over the mound, traversing over it, and then jumping off of its peak toward the ironclad giant. Die!
The
Ineffectually bouncing, my blade blocked by his armor.
the thick armor moves in response, just slightly. The shuffling of an arm, opening up a large jar in his hands, screams abundant. The mound of flesh behind you, bigger than him, rustling, stench of filth and bodies rot.
The scent just fills my mind, but I pay it no heed, and I'm recklessly swiping and thrusting. For 6, finding a gap in between his plates and cutting.
Screaming louder from the jar. The armor loosening. Gray flesh beneath.
I'm taking in the smell of the flesh that I've wounded.
The dead necrotic. The rustling behind, giving way to near shaking of the ground, shadow forming over you.
I grab onto the plates and try to climb up onto his chest.
Um, the yep.
And I'm hanging on, and I have my blade in my mouth, and I pull it out, ready to attack.
The behind you, the shadow nearing in, as sounds of splattering can be heard. Body half decomposed, falling down on your periphery. Sound of a humming, it's and then smashing, flailing, knocking one of the pillars in the room. Dust falling down. The jar screaming.
The screams filling my brain, and the dust covering my body. I don't react at all. Yeah. And I go finding more gaps in the armor around the shoulder for 6.
The stench from the helmet of the man in the chair. Hot, disgusting breath. It's a faint as heard. The behind you, a large mass of meat coming down, clapping at you. Smashing into your body, a mound of humanoid flesh stitched together, beating into your flesh. Clap.
I'm crushed, and I immediately roll off of the throne onto the ground. My vision blurring once again. Laying on the ground in a pool of blood.
The giant creature, size of the vaulted ceiling of this cavern, stitched together from masses of pirates, lizard folk, in the shape of a humanoid, lifts up a foot over your face.
No.
Coming down. Smashing darkness into...
Unable to form any intelligible thought, consciousness leaves me just like that. My body limp on the ground, crushed underneath the foot.
Smell.
The claws tighten. My spirit leaving my body.
A deep, familiar whisper then. You found the oath. If you will walk with her.
With her? With Tila?
The familiar sounds of Tila and Tepti, memories before before the foreigners came.
Tila, Tepti, my voice softer, broken. I feel their spirits beside me, and I walk on into something else.
Tepti um, says, "With honor, father," walks into a darkness. That's it.
That was so cool.
That was awesome, man. Thank you. That was so much fun.
I gotta say, I was a fan of that. I love
Yeah,
this stuff.
I do. That was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. I was like the last guy that you like. I originally thought you were just gonna just be dead with that. And I really like playing with the oath with the god as
Uh
like
huh.
a. I was like that's. I like that idea of like a sort of last breath with that. Of like, do you want to go forth with that?
Yeah, that
Um,
was cool.
that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if some people are like, "Oh, this edgy." I cannot get enough of that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I like it. I think it's just fun. Who cares? And yeah, it was fun to play with something like just darker like that, and actually, and more fantasy. Um,
Yes, it was super fun getting to use like a almost Batman voice.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'm like, I'm gonna kill you.
That
It was so cool.
was really fun. Yeah, I like the like resisting and like killing like Ika was really cool too. I like that because I just like that guy was like really committed to it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that was awesome.
The mechanic we came up with before it really worked out. I know all we said was roll a charisma check,
Yep,
and as I was going, I was like, well, it needs to be getting harder. So
that's
I
how I was
just
playing
I
it too.
just added a one more penalty each time, and starting out, it's like, okay, I'll roll to see if I'm with my senses or not, and then by the end, it's like, no, don't even roll. I'm just insane
Yep,
beyond repair. That
yeah,
was so cool. I loved role playing that character.
yeah. I thought you did such a
Uh,
good job. That was really cool. How do you feel about playing like a lizard man too? That was.
that's awesome. I, I I love the idea of playing something animalistic, even if I'm like a human, just going berserk and
Mm-hmm.
uh, just drooling and fighting and blood everywhere, that kind of thing. I was almost gonna have him go on like all fours at one point. Uh, Also, I was gonna say like I see a arrow whiz past me and I think it's like glowing in black magic or something. I was gonna see if like let you roll with it. It didn't come up, but see if you want to roll with that because I was thinking of Jestry.
Oh,
I was
cool.
like
Yeah,
maybe he's there.
yeah. Oh, that'd be really cool. I would like that.
Yeah,
Um,
but yeah, I love how you had the grafters just using the lizard man and pirates.
yeah,
They don't care for either one. They just use any flesh.
yeah. Whatever flesh they can like find. I was thinking of it like I was just imagining. I was trying to pull stuff from the book too, just to think about some of the lore they had like for the implicit stuff too, and I was trying to use like the flesh golem and idea of like the Knights of Saint Idris if they went rogue, what kind of like you know uh, demonic or like horde things like that would they create? I like the idea of like going to new places, finding like spiritually rich places that they can harvest almost for like to attach to that body. But yeah,
Which one is Idris again?
Knights of Saint
Is that
Idris. I think it's in one of the cursed scrolls. I think it's actually like
Oh, okay.
built into that where it's like Saint Idris is. I don't know if it's even a god or anything. I think it's just like I think it's like there's like a knight who like either like harness the power of a demon or something like that, and that's how they kind of dwell their power from that. Essentially, it's kind of like I think like a hex blade, pretty much. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. It was some of it too. It was fun playing with the like bunch of weak pirate things too, um, and trying to
Hmm.
figure that out too. And then I felt like yeah, it's just kind of fun seeing them all just get killed and stuff. Like they had an ability, they couldn't hit. I feel like that was funny, but um, yeah,
Yeah,
which I like. But I like the
yeah,
idea of them just getting torn apart. But um,
that was super cool.
yeah,
It was like endless carnage,
yeah,
and
which
I
is
did
all.
not
That's
mind
really
that
just what
at
I
all.
wanted. You know, I want a game where we were just going straight into some crap like that. You know, and just either getting ripped apart or not. You know,
Hmm.
I like the crab. I really like the fighting the crab thing or whatever. That was cool. Um,
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get through him. Well, I wouldn't have without the second chance.
yeah, yeah. Um, like, what do you mean? Like, get through him? Like the
I
hit?
didn't
You're
think
saying?
I didn't think I was going to be able to kill him.
Um, wait, I saw like he was already pretty. He was already weakened as you guys like had fought him. Is how because I was just doing that
Wait,
before. Or, like,
wait, are you talking about the giant crab or
I'm
the?
talking about the giant crab.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't worried about that. I thought
yeah.
you were I was talking about the man with the crab arm. Sorry.
Yeah, I so the way I had just built that guy as that was like one of the like I had came up with like a couple enemies or whatever, and that guy he was supposed to be um the way I just seen it is he was like a test subject essentially. They're trying out like this like graphing different species from there to him, you know.
Hmm.
So I was rolling that I was rolling like essentially like a dice to see what appendage he would get, and then um, what happens on each appendage. So the tentacle thing that just keeps growing, and so if he doesn't get the save on that, it just keeps growing and getting unwieldy. And then
Oh,
he
okay.
didn't even get to use the crab arm much because that just got cut off. And then same with the scorpion tails. I was supposed to be the last one because I was trying to do it like almost like a chimera type thing, and just say okay, so he has these
Yes.
three appendages, and then depending if they here's what they have to do because it can be really powerful, you know. But
Hmm.
so it's just like this idea of this
That's
guy
cool.
who's just like just trying to like fight you, and then his arm literally keeps like growing as he is like and becoming like unwieldy even to a point, but because he kept failing the check or whatever on it.
That's funny, but a really cool enemy. Um, I got lots of crits for extra damage. That was fun, and then I rolled over the armor class by 5 or more a lot of times. So I
Yeah,
was just saying, I knock him over,
yeah, I saw that, and I
and
really
then
like that
like
you
I
were playing with that too because I
stun
remember
him. Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. Yeah, you're overkilling this guy, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there was like I don't really have a whole. I feel like for the most part, yeah, I don't have a whole lot of feedback yet. Just because
Yeah.
as a when you're playing one on one, it's kind of it can be a long game too. I know there's one or a couple times I said you, and a couple times I felt like I almost overstepped on you describing your like how you finish the attack and stuff.
Nope.
Um,
I don't think
but
so.
other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I like the idea of it being at night too. I was really glad we played that like in the night with the moonlight and stuff too, and having this like
Hmm.
I could like see the like white sands and um, yeah,
I think I had some inspiration from like the Northmen. How
yeah,
Amleth would run around just filled with rage and just cutting people down. Yeah. Yeah, going into this, I didn't expect Keelar to be that good. Well, we, I guess that's because
yeah,
we talked about the like the pact thing this morning.
yep. Yeah, I think two of the
I was
thing
like,
there it
man,
definitely led to more power because of the playing the pirates as like multiple units. It kind of adds to that effect too. But also had a lot of
yeah,
misses, and
yeah,
then which was it was fun, and then uh, yeah, I think that really kind of highlights that, you know. And then there was one point though I didn't really know how to communicate it though. The guys with the halberds and like half plate pretty much. Those guys they pretty much just got murdered, but actually intended to be a little bit stronger. Because I'm intended for
hmm.
those to be like a single unit. But I didn't
Oh,
really get
okay,
that like communicated, you know. Um,
hmm.
so yeah, but it is kind of funny because you can just like how much health did your guy have total? It was probably like
19.
yeah,
That's it.
that's pretty good actually. So you can go down pretty quick then if things add up from there. But
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there was some luck to it too. Uh, yeah, role playing with Tepti was very cool. Um, especially the last scene with him. I was almost gonna kill Tepti
oh, cool.
just blindly. I was like, "Oh, dude, I am this close."
That's cool.
Like
Yeah.
if he like argues with me,
Uh
I'm
huh.
gonna kill him.
Yeah. No, that's cool because I was like, I really like the idea too, where he's like watching all these like adults in his life around him, also like given before him because he passed some of those checks earlier too, and I liked that you could like I could like feel him just like not like him just watching these like his dad and his like these other people would be like uncles pretty much just getting like going crazy.
Hmm.
And then at the same time he started like getting it when he like failed one of those checks or whatever, and then I liked him facing off at the end with that. But yeah, it would have been awesome if you had to kill him too. He's just like talking
I
back, and
know.
you're just like, "Don't speak back."
Did I tell you to speak more? And
That's good.
then if I killed him, I don't know if I would have kept fighting or killing myself. Would have I probably would have rolled to like to see.
Yeah, which would also be like perfect too.
Yeah.
Um, just get grafted on at some point, anyways. They just find your
Yeah.
bodies and keep grafting them to this
Oh, dude, we're
to
gonna
the flesh
see later
golem.
on.
Yeah, I love that because that was like the only thing that I think like, there's a couple of things that originally made me want to do this. A couple was just thinking how fun like pirates and playing lizardmen would be too. We were just talking about that, but then
Hmm.
reading some of the Celtic like lore stuff, and then seeing the flesh golem as like a monster, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I love the idea of like like you just start grafting things together and create ultimately trying to create this flesh golem um,
Hmm.
from like the guy who's in the armor sitting there. I was like this idea of him just being like this kind of like a high knight of Saint Idris. Just he just has that soul. The jar he's holding is like a soul jar item. It's like actually in ShadowDark or whatever. So it's like
Uh-huh.
the idea of that it's kind of modified that they're just using it to build this flesh golem that he can then wield, right? But other than that, he's just like you know,
Okay, that's what
yeah,
that was. He's
yeah,
got the soul in the jar,
yeah.
and then
So that,
the monster is controlled by him.
yeah, yeah. So it's like you can put all these souls in this giant jar and then control that body. Um,
Every soul you put in there, you can
yeah,
put graft the body onto it.
yep. So that's all I was like playing like when he was opening it briefly, and all these souls are just getting screaming as they're just trying to either get out or get sucked in there, and then he's doing that so he could then once he like had them all sucked in or whatever. I was like that's why I was like playing a couple rounds so then he could inhabit the body or whatever. Um,
Very cool.
which yeah, edgy
That's
or whatever.
awesome.
It's fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hope more people watch this one. I know, sometimes people will watch like the first half or something, but it's very cool.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I had a really good time. Thanks for letting me, run a game on like, this
Yeah,
format that you started and everything. And I know I feel like even as a GM, it's like still a world that you proposed and everything that's really fun to play in. So appreciate the opportunity to just get a run a game in it.
yeah. Thanks for GMing it. I loved getting to be in it. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, I need to pull some weeds.
Yeah, I gotta go do some work stuff too. But that was a great game, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty,
All right. I'll see you.
see ya.
Thank you guys for watching.